Hello and welcome to Bleeding Tree Gaming. My name's Amy, aka Warpfiend, and today I'm taking a look at the Game Envy Lucent light designed for mini painting. First off, this is not a sponsored video at all. I went out and bought this product myself, and I wanted to do a quick video where I talk about my experiences with it. So I badly needed a new light. My old single bar lamp and the overhead lights weren't enough light to properly paint with. You know, the bar lamp was too low on the desk. If I put it on the shelf above me, it would easily collapse. Even so, it cast shadows due to just having a single light source. So I ended up using this massive softbox for my main light. Nice and diffuse, but way too bright in my field of vision and just too big to have next to me. With my bad back, I haven't been able to sit long, and I need to lean back to paint when I can, so that's leaning away from the light source already. I also wanted to try painting from bed when I can't sit in a chair, so I can get back into a regular routine of painting. So the reason why I picked the Lucent was I'd seen a few options specifically aimed at hobbyists. I won't go too much into them specifically. Some of them were in the hundreds of pounds, some of them were much cheaper. Although it can make things pricier, lighting is kind of a complex enough topic that I feel a bit more comfortable paying a little extra for something with the promise of being, you know, designed towards mini painters. But on the other hand, I don't have like hundreds and hundreds of pounds to spend on some of the high-end ones. But Vince Venturella recently did a video on lighting where he had good words to say about the Lucent, so I ordered one up. There are currently no UK suppliers for this, so I had to pay a lot for shipping. The whole thing came to just over £100, so on the pricey side, but not too bank-breaking. So it arrived in great condition considering the transatlantic delivery. The lights themselves are inset, so they're protected from damage. It's a lovely, well-made product. It doesn't feel cheap or fragile. It seems compact and sturdy enough to travel with, although it's not the smallest lamp ever. There's no UK version, so I had to use a power adapter. The instructions are minimal but fairly clear. So it took a while to get to grips with, but it's fairly intuitive to use. It can feel a bit of a struggle to get it where you want it. The lights need to be pointed at you, and while it's generally possible, I've spent a bit of time confused by the logistics. The joints are really quite stiff, but the extra effort to move it means it feels solid with like no risk of collapsing on your head when you work. I did have a period where I didn't realise the base of the armature rotates horizontally and had to clamp it upside down to my cabinet to get the lights facing downwards. So that reduced the range of movement, and I thought it was like a design flaw. You know, I was looking at the manual, it shows it rotating there, but I couldn't turn it, and it very much seemed of a piece. To the point I was at least 75% certain there was some kind of error in the manual. But no, again, it's just really stiff, but if you brace well or you're a little bit stronger than me, you can turn it, so don't be fooled like I was. Again, I don't mind the stiffness so much as it feels solid, and I don't worry about the arms collapsing on me, so maybe it'll loosen over time, and whether that will affect the stability I can't say. As well as the base rotating 360 degrees, the central light connector has a horizontal rotational point, and between the two you can generally get it more or less where you want it, although there are limits, and it really feels like a couple more points of horizontal rotation along with the vertical rotation of the armature would really give you much better control, if that were possible while still retaining this kind of stability. Now, there was a rubber washer on the end of the clamp to protect your surfaces, but it's only very loosely attached. I forgot about it, and it must have pinged off into a corner somewhere when I was testing out the light in different locations. So I hope it doesn't leave dents in my surfaces. It seems fine so far. Once I managed to set it up at my desk, I found it really did the job fantastically. With 5 separate light bars, there's no annoying shadows cast on the Mini. You can switch on and off the 2 end lights and the centre 3 independently, although if you're painting you'll want them all on. Gives you great overall light quality. There's 5 levels of brightness and I rarely go beyond the 2nd, even at night. There are also 5 different temperatures of light, going from a warm orange sunset hue to a cool bluish glow. I find the neutral ones best for painting, although the others may have applications for filming and photography. Similarly, the option to smoothly cycle through both colour and brightness levels is something I can see myself using for dramatic mini turntable shots, but is probably not going to be used every day unless you really feel you need to adjust the light by like a minuscule amount. The presets are just fine most of the time. As I said before, it can be kind of awkward, particularly if you don't have too much strength or suffer from mobility issues. However, I feel it's mostly manageable, and once you do get it set up, you can comfortably paint fairly much anywhere there's a solid surface to clamp it on. I set it up on the cabinet next to my bed, and while painting propped up in bed is never going to be the optimal solution, when my spine flares up it's nice to know I can still do some painting and I'm not just stuck on my phone. I can definitely see this being super useful for people with all kinds of mobility issues or disabilities, and it just allows you a lot of freedom to paint in places other than leaning hunched over a desk. As you can probably tell, I really like this light and would definitely recommend it. If you're frustrated with not having enough light to paint where you are, if you're sick of the shadows cast by single lights, if you struggle to sit in conventional desk setups, then this is the light for you. There could be a little bit more flexibility in the range of motion, but for most setups you should be able to figure something out. If they had a UK stockist, I'd happily buy another one, as it is the postage is a little bit of a deterrent. Overall, great at everything you need a light for. It's well made, it's sturdy, and I love it. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you've got any comments, if you've tried any other lights that you'd like to recommend, let us know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!